Hi, everyone. I think we're live. Hi, and welcome to Engage, a live weekly show about women in sport on Get Vokl, which is a new social media site that gives us the opportunity to have face to face conversations, which is awesome because we're all in different states right now. And before we get started and meet all the other hosts, my name is Meghan Caffrey, by the way. Here's how it works. Ashley's going to tell you.
So you're going to see the clock, so it's going to be counting down about 15 minutes till our show ends. But you're actually going to be able to join the conversation by clicking into the jump into group on your screen. And if you're watching on either Facebook Live or YouTube, you're going to see a link also on your screen. So make sure that you click that button because we want to connect with everybody and excited to do this all together.
Yay. And in case anyone's wondering, I think we might have a little technical difficulty. So Ashley is paused right now in the cutest of ways, but we can still hear her.
I'm just really excited.
My name is Meghan Caffrey. I'm joined by Ashley, my co-host, and we're welcoming in our guest for today's show, Lauryn Williams. Lauryn is a four-time Olympian, the first American woman to earn a medal in both the Summer and the Winter Olympics. And on top of all of that achievement, Lauryn also owns her own financial planning firm geared towards serving professional athletes and millennials. And of course, today's topic, because of that, is all about following the money and managing finances. Lauryn, welcome in.
It's so good to be on. Thanks for having me.
We were talking a little bit before about just what your company does and what the reason was that you started the company. Why did you start a financial planning company?
I feel like as young professionals, we don't see a lot of options available to us as it pertains to finances. So, in your 20s and 30s, you're trying to figure things out. What's my 401k? If you're an athlete, what is it like? What is this independent contractor life like? And there's just so many questions that we have, but there's nowhere to really get answers. And we've all bumped into that kind of shady looking insurance salesy sort of person. But it's like, where do I get help with the things I need help with, from, buying my first home, or saving money for a wedding, setting up a budget, all the little things that are your finances, managing my student loans, So I started a company that I felt like was going to be able to serve my peers and the things that we're dealing with, as opposed to just being sold some crappy product and telling me that that's going to be great for my future. I want the whole package.
I love it. So, Lauryn, you are a very successful athlete and have had a huge career competing in multiple Summer Olympic Games and also in the Winter Olympic Games. What was it transition like going from athlete to now professional financial coach?
That about sums it up. There's one of those things where, as a female athlete, everyone tells me like, oh, you did this and you did that. And, I had a degree and I made a good living while I was competing in my sport, and you're nice and you have a good network, and all those things are great resources that will help you with the transition, but it doesn't change what happens the day that you step off the track or step off the field of play and have to transition into something else. And I spend a lot of time talking to people about the idea of your identity can't just be sport. It needs to be something else before you can finish competing, so that it'll make that transition a little bit easier. But the transition is not going to be easy for any of us. Sport is what we do. It's been who we are. It's so much of what's ingrained in us that it takes a little while to figure out, like, what does life without sport look like? And really, what does exercise look like? Because all I knew was like 100% or it's my day off. And so now I'm trying to figure out, like, what does exercise for health look like? There's a lot of things that happen in a transition that you just got to figure out.
You're someone who's used to transition, though, because after you were done competing in track and field, you became a bobsled athlete. How did you get interested in bobsledding and then achieve the ultimate success?
I think it was really just a bunch of luck. I read an article about a girl having tried bobsled, bumped into her in the airport and said, oh, I read this article. Tell me about how you found that. And she told me about it, and she was like, you can go to the Olympics. And I was like, I'm not trying to go to the Olympics. I just thought it'd be like something fun to do recreationally after sport or after track and field. So I signed up, showed up, and 6 months later, I was at the Olympic Games.
No big deal at all. Like, goals to be strived for. Oh my goodness. So, Lauryn, one thing that I am so interested to know, now that you are a financial coach as well, you went from athlete being coached your whole life. Now you get to coach people.
It's been really interesting. And one of the things that like you said, with transition wise, people kept saying, well, what are you going to do next? Are you going to coach? Sorry, Great Dane.
What's your Great Dane's name? We love dogs.
Yasu. He's 154 pounds and angry. Well, can you get him?
We're both dog people, so this is totally
this is right up our alley. We love it.
So, coaching. Yeah, so people always said, are you going to go into coaching? And I found it offensive at first that they kind of pigeonhole you into you can only be a personal trainer or a coach or a broadcaster because you are a world-class athlete. Then I realized that there's all different ways to be able to give back to the sport and different ways to, coach. And I kind of have transitioned into coaching, but just not coaching on my field of play. And using what I learned as an athlete to be able to say, to be able to describe to someone how to take action, I think is the really most important part of coaching. And that is a skill I picked up from my coach and I've been able to transition over into helping people organize their finances.
Who was your coach that helped you with that?
Her name was Amy Dean. And I always talk about the coach is one of those people that gets, it's like a thankless job. They do a lot of the work. They're behind the scenes. They can't run the race for you or compete for you. But really, it's a gift and a talent to be able to articulate to someone in a way that's going to make sense to them how to execute. And so, you might hear one thing and it causes you to move to action. And then I need to hear it a completely different way. A real good coach is going to be able to break it down in terms that you're going to be able to understand so that you can, take action and reach your full potential. And I've really been honing that skill since I saw the way that she was able to do that with so many different athletes over the course of my career.
So Lauryn, with your financial company Worth Winning, what is your overall goal that you have for this company?
My overall goal is really just helping people organize their finances. Like I said, I had the misfortune of having 2 crappy financial advisors during my career. And I just want to be that resource to where athletes and young professionals show up and they know that they can get the help that they need. So whatever the topic is, there's no ulterior motive. There's no backstory to it. It's, I value this advice and I think this advice is worth paying for and I'm going to get good advice. So just that confidence and creating that confidence across the industry where there are good financial people out there that are willing to help you, meet you where you are, in a no judgment zone, talk to you like you're my best girlfriend and figure it all out for you. So I think the real goal is to create a brand where people can say oh, financial planning, that's a cool thing. I need that. And it's okay to do. And then also in thinking about the way that I run my podcast, it's about getting people to discuss finances, period. That's a taboo topic. We're more likely to sit around the table and talk about our sex life than we are to talk about our finances with one another. And I really want to encourage that conversation among young women and professionals and just everyone. We need to be talking more about what's your strategy? Because it's not really about the numbers. It's not about how much you make or how much money you have in the bank. It's about what are you doing to reach your full potential, to get to your financial goals? And, how can I help you along the way? Or what can I learn from your strategy that can help me with my strategy? So I'm just trying to spread the financial love all over the place.
Well, I feel the love. All about it.
I feel the love. All about it.
How has this podcast that you've created really grown and gotten into encouraging people? And you've seen the growth throughout it now that you're not only targeting just athletes, you're targeting millennials in general. How has now having this other platform to relate to people really grown your business and made you maybe learn a couple more things as well?
It's been a really great learning experience. I was talking a little bit earlier about the idea that I'm kind of shy, and it's not I'm pretty social, but at the same time, I don't like to chat a whole lot. And it's been a growth opportunity for me to be able to realize this is a platform and this is a way to be able to help people. And you kind of let your light shine. I think one of the things, as women, sometimes we do is we kind of, hover and we're trying to be humble, but, we hide ourselves. And it's kind of poke your chest out and tell people that you're good at this and show people that you're an expert and, let your passion and excitement show. So it's been really cool to be able to do that, but then also to really, like I said, hear other people's story, have others have a platform to be able to tell their stories, because everybody's financial story is very unique. And then have those listeners on the other end have something that they can resonate with and say, hey, I'm not alone. I'm not the only person with 6 figures of student loan debt. I'm not the only person who, got a bunch of credit card debt in college because I didn't know the difference. And, and it's not the end of the world. I can make changes.
So, Lauryn, some of the people that you've been able to help, what's something that you learned from them instead of them learning
things
from you?
I've learned from them? I think one of the things is just to kind of like live, laugh, and just learn. It's this idea of like, oh, I screwed this up, and
Ooh. Sorry.
Keep going. Okay.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. So it's like, this week I screwed up my budget. I didn't do anything you told me to do, Lauryn, but I'm ready.
Oh no.
Oh, hang on, Lauryn. We cannot hear you for a second.
I'm not sure how to. Oh no.
I'll give this a good old test run. I love this right now.
Yeah, I don't know how to go about this.
Yeah, Lauryn, your mic is muted. We can see you fully.
I'm trying to unmute you, but I can't. Can you hear me?
Let's see. Is there something on her screen? I don't have.
Oh no.
Let's see.
Lauryn, can you hear me? I'm trying to unmute you, but I'm not sure how to.
Yes. I love technology. It's okay. It's a blessing and a curse sometimes.
There's a microphone button on your screen, and I keep clicking it to try and see if I can give you the mic, but it's not going. Let's see. Ashley, do you have time to donate to Lauryn?
Maybe.
Oh, I got 10 seconds. I better talk fast.
I'll keep going. I'll just keep donating. I like donating.
I don't know what to say now. What was the last thing I was telling?
That's okay. We can come. Let's see. I'm just going to keep donating so we get more time with you, Lauryn.
Yeah.
Your mic doesn't cut out.
Ask your question to Lauryn too, because that was such a great question.
Yes. So all of the people that you've been able to help, what's one way they've helped you in return?
I think one of the ways that they've helped me in return is just realizing to kind of roll with the punches, I guess is the easiest way to go with it. So sometimes, they'll get back to me and they'll say, I'm so embarrassed. I didn't do my budget. And, I completely fell off the wagon. And, in that coaching process, I'm talking about the idea of it's okay, get back on the wagon. And, in theory, I always get it, and I realize that I persevered as an athlete and, kind of rolled with the punches. But it's been a great learning experience from the different clients that I've served to see them roll with the punches and realize that they can get back on. And then also that, I can continue to inspire them despite the fact that they've kind of, made a mistake here or there.
Oh, I'm on too. How has being an athlete, obviously you've used these connections and you had your platform to really start this business as well. How have all the lessons that you've learned as an athlete benefited now in a financial world?
Definitely. There's been a lot of opportunities for me to, the life skills you learn in sport to carry over. And so perseverance is one of them. As a entrepreneur, you ride this roller coaster every day. It's like, oh my God, I got a new client. Oh my goodness, no one's called me in a month. And you're just kind of like, what the heck? So this idea of really being able to stick to it, realizing that you got to show up for practice every day. Good practices, good reps at practice make good competitions. Good competitions are what lead you to the championship. And so I'm still trying to reach that championship point in my business. And what I'm doing right now is getting good practice reps day in and day out as I build the business, create processes to make things more efficient and smooth, and just learn from the feedback that I'm getting from different clients, because really I'm creating a business that is not like very many others. Traditional financial planning is boring. You get a big packet of paper, you get a lot of analysis, and that's not what I wanted as a young professional. It's not what I want as a young professional, and it's not what my clients want. So when you're creating this thing that's young and fun, but also based in all the financial knowledge I've gained, you're constantly pivoting and trying to figure out, like, okay, what's the best way to deliver this information? What's the best way to talk to the client? Should I send them a video instead of an email, and all these different things. So just being able to kind of pick up and pivot on the go is one of the things I've learned as well.
And Lauryn, before this, Ashley and I were talking about how much of just a power woman you are that you're able to do all of this.
It's been fun. It's been a really nice life, from, like I said, the Olympic world to switching sports, which I never would have planned to do, working on a podcast, writing a book now, also running the business. Also picked up a student loan consulting gig. So it's been really, really rewarding to help people with student loans. So I didn't have student loans as a college athlete, but what I kept bumping into in my business was people coming to me thinking, I'm never going to be able to get married. I'm never going to be able to, do this or that because these student loans are dragging me down. And to be able to provide people with freedom from student loan baggage has been like one of the most rewarding things in my business.
All righty. Well, I think it's 9:16. So that means that we're coming to the end of the show. So thank you everyone who has joined us for watching, and be ready because in a moment you will be handing off the conversation to you. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, follow the link to Get Vokl up in the post and jump on into a group Vokl. Be sure to follow Engage Wisp Sports and Galvanize on Facebook and Twitter to learn all about these incredible supporters of women's voices. We're so appreciative of Galvanize and Wisp for giving us this platform and supporting women in sports. And be sure to join Engage next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And Lauryn, thank you so much for joining Ashley and I today. It was so interesting to learn from you tonight and just chat as well.
Thank you.